everyone, welcome back to my channel. My less lethal people, we gotta have a heart-to-heart talk. I know SHOT Show and it's a fun time to see what the latest guns or latest less lethal, and there's some good ones. I don't follow SHOT Show as well as I should, mostly because there's money involved. That's the one thing. I don't have the luxury of just buying just new less lethals. I have to make do with what I have, but that's okay. But we also have to get to the understanding that less lethal, you can only go so far with less lethal. It is a nice option to have in the tool, but it should not be your only option. You should always have a switchblade, A, B, C, D. You always should have a switchblade in the drawer just in case something don't work the way you want to. It's just a reality. I love less lethal, but if you think I'm going to live and die, life and death off my less lethal, you gotta be joking. I need something less lethal so I don't go to jail. Because if I shoot a person less lethal, I'm saying, hey, I'm defending my life, and depending on the less lethal, you can go down just as well. But I definitely don't want to shoot the gun. I definitely don't want that unless my life is dependent on it. And a couple of weeks ago it was. And for me, I wish I had something. Now my question is, when you have your less lethal, if that person has lethal, or will you listen? Something is better than nothing. Now, if you think you can talk your way out of a situation and not get shot, I would not show the less lethal. But if you have, all you have is less lethal, that's all you have, then that's all you have is that's all you have. So you want to use what you have and quickly get away from the situation. You don't want to bang with people because you at disadvantage. Now, having less lethal is better than having nothing. If you know that person has nothing, your less lethal is an amazing tool to have. But if they got something, you got to range your ability. Like, my less lethal, can this possibly stop this person? Especially, I got this big jacket. Is this gonna work in the winter time? I'm pretty sure you hit anybody with anything. Nobody is that strong. This is just flesh. This thing that we're invincible, I dare ask someone to take a .68 caliber kinetic ball to the throat and think they're gonna just walk away. I don't think that's gonna happen. But if they got something more than that, if you have a taser, but most people don't have taser that projectile. Like, for me, I don't keep my projectile taser with me. I should. I should have that as an option. Like, that should be like on my hip, because most people a taser don't even look like a taser to a lot of people. People recognize a gun. Even if I bring out this burner, people gonna think that's a gun first and question everything second. But how a taser look, especially the kinetic ones, with the projectile, you shoot the button. You don't want, so you have to gauge what of less lethal is less lethal for you. Is how bad, what's the situation? Best situation, you can get out of it, but cooler heads and people would do some dumbness, and you just gotta know your environment, that people are sick and people don't play fair and they don't fight fair. People are, like I said, effing cowards. They really are. This the generation we live in, and even the generation that was tougher, they have gotten so soft. But at the same time, you should not be fighting at age 50. You say that for 31, 32, 28-year-old people don't got nothing to lose. You got family members. You got people that depend on you. Less lethal, everything else second, and then your fighting ability fourth. For me, fighting abilities, but as I experienced with my shoulder injury, my arm was not feeling the best, so I would not want to fight like a week ago. And really just that age, you just need to, stop. I would dare to say you need to become efficient in knives before you get efficient in guns. I really believe that. If you put in your martial arts and you put any type of stick, weapon, Kali, screamer, anything, and use that as hand to hand, you can make it. But guns should be your last resort, as the great Scary Cat told me in a post. Guns should be your last choice. But also don't think your burner is you the law. Once you put a burner on your hip, or a salt supply, or a pistol, or Umarex, you're not invincible, and you're definitely not invincible with a less lethal. You can get away, and if your pride is offended because you can't be wire up with your burn TCR, just ease on down and check. You got realize why you want less lethal. Less lethal should be as a way of self-defense, either to not hurt anybody, which nobody should, and also as a option. And some people don't even have the option of guns, so they need less lethal. Some people have no other option except less lethal. If that's what you have, that's what you have. But anyway, something's better than nothing, right? All right, guys, have a good one.